What is up, you guys? Sam Dog, the infamous 253, coming at you guys from downstairs in the game room with Dallas Stewart. Dallas, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yep.
Final week of the season is here. Wow.
Yeah,
It was a quick year.
Quick year. And we went 11-4 last week on week 17 picks. The reason why it's because of that Monday night game, man. Thoughts and prayers, obviously, to DeMar Hamlin. The good news is he was just on FaceTime, tubed out of his mouth, tubes out and whatnot. So thank the Lord that DeMar Hamlin is making a speedy recovery and looking in good shape now. But he's on IR for the year for Buffalo. But that was the scariest thing I think I've ever seen in my life of watching football. Was what happened with him. So definitely prayers for him, for his speedy recovery, and just know that every one of us is praying for you, DeMar. Just had to put that out, just for DeMar Hamlin. All right, but now we're on to Week 18, one of the other hardest weeks to pick.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's going to be teams that have clinched in advance that are going to be resting the starters.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it tough. But first off, we got two Saturday games. Saturday game number 1, we got the Kansas City Chiefs going to Las Vegas and Allegiant Stadium to take on the Las Vegas Raiders. The Kansas City Chiefs got that 3-point win last week over the Denver Broncos, 27-24. It wasn't pretty, but Mahomes once again doing Mahomes things and getting it done. And once again, thank you, Kansas City.
Yep, thank you, Kansas City.
Yep. One game now away from hopefully having the number 3 pick in the draft, because I think that's most likely what's going to happen, because I think the Bears are going to get number 2. They're just terrible. But yeah, Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders, meantime, pretty much, they started Jarrett Stidham, and they had that crazy shootout, and Jarrett Stidham took the 49ers to overtime in that game. Devontae Adams had a heck of a game. He had some pretty crazy catches, but then he turned it over, and they got in easy chip shot range for Robbie Gould, and Robbie Gould kicked it up for the win for the San Francisco 49ers, who got a shot at the 1 seed if the Eagles lose this week. But, yeah, who knows what's going to happen with Josh McDaniels after this season with the Raiders? You think they fire him after this year?
That's a tough one.
And then Derek Carr, who knows where he might end up after this year if he's not going to be.
I think next year definitely Josh McDaniels is on the hot seat if they don't turn it around.
Yeah.
They have way too much talent on that team.
Who knows? They might pull the trigger this offseason. But regardless of it, I'm taking Kansas City.
I'm taking Kansas City to get the 1 seed.
Yep. Up next, we got the Tennessee Titans going to Jacksonville to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Titans last Thursday night got obliterated by the Dallas Cowboys as expected. Well, you're going to get blown out.
Well, they hung in there for like 3 quarters, but they don't have enough on offense right now.
Yeah, and Josh Dobbs is clearly, Josh Dobbs not really a good quarterback because, the Titans are pretty much screwed with Tannehill being hurt, and they don't trust Malik Willis. Meanwhile, the Jacksonville Jaguars last week got business taken care of, and they did it with ease, just obliterating the Houston Texans to split on the season. This game decides the AFC South, and with how bad the Titans are, lock of the week. Give me Jacksonville.
I'm locking it up. Give me Jacksonville to finish the season on a 5-game winning streak,
and the Jaguars to
win the AFC South and make the playoffs for the first time since 2017. Doug Peterson's done a hell of a job this year, turning that team around.
Yeah, definitely got to give props to Doug.
And Trevor Lawrence is looking like a good young quarterback in this league. He has a bright future.
Lawrence definitely does. When he has that bright future, he becomes elite. We as Seahawks fans could say, hey, remember that time we beat him with Geno Smith in 2021?
Yep, in his rookie year.
Yep. At least we could say that, just like when we beat Peyton Manning with John Kitna in 1998 in Peyton's rookie year. All right, now on to the Sunday slate. We got the Cleveland Browns going to Pittsburgh to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Cleveland Browns got a 17-10 win over the Washington Commanders, and the Pittsburgh...
No, wasn't it 24-10?
Yeah, 24-10. Shoot,
they eliminated Washington from playoff contention.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're still in that race to potentially get a wild card spot in the AFC. With the AFC North, granted Cincinnati's most likely going to walk away with that division, but the Pittsburgh Steelers...
Yeah, they need New England to lose and Miami to lose, and I think it's possible.
It's
definitely possible they could backdoor their way in. a second straight year and get the 7th seed. And Tomlin could keep his streak of alive of never having a losing season as a head coach.
Yeah, and the Steelers split on the season with the Baltimore
Ravens.
Ravens
These teams played, week 3?
And
week 3 this year on Thursday night?
Yeah, and then
these teams? And Cleveland won the first time, didn't they?
Yeah, Cleveland did, and the Steelers just came off of a win over the Baltimore Ravens.
Split the Ravens.
Yeah, the Browns beat the Steelers earlier on Thursday Night Football. Whew, man. This time around,
I know the Browns
TJ Watt's back this time around. He's making the big difference.
Yeah, I think they're going to want to keep... I think the Steelers are going to keep their momentum going.
Yeah, and I think there's a good chance they backdoor their way into the playoffs like the Bears did in 2020.
Or like the Steelers did last year.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
To get the split.
And
to keep Mike Tomlin's streak of never having a losing season alive.
Yep.
As a head coach.
All right, and up next we got the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Bengals. The Ravens, like we mentioned, lost to the Steelers on Sunday Night Football, and meanwhile the Cincinnati Bengals, like we said, that unfortunate game that happened with them and the Bills. Unfortunate for, like I said, Damar Hamlin for Bills, but thankfully they're recovering. That he's recovering well, and I know T. Higgins went to the hospital immediately after that happened because that was it happened on him. So keep your head up, T. You know it's tough that happened. You know, but don't put all the blame on you. You know it is just an unfortunate thing that happened. You know. But thankfully, Damar Hamlin is doing okay. Meanwhile, Cincinnati and Baltimore, though, playing in Cincinnati, Bengals are definitely taking this one. I'm taking.
Yeah, this is for the AFC North title, and I think they're gonna want to get revenge for losing to them on Sunday night earlier in the year. I gotta go with Cincinnati in this one. Plus, I think Lamar Jackson's still gonna be out.
Yeah. Up next, we got the Minnesota Vikings going to Chicago to take on the Chicago Bears. The Vikings last week got obliterated by the Green Bay Packers. That was the shocker of last week. And meanwhile, the Chicago Bears last week got obliterated by the Detroit Lions, as we expected.
No contest.
No contest at all. And now pretty much, I think the Bears...
And the Lions finished off the sweep of the Bears.
I think the Bears are most likely going to be getting Jalen Carter, especially now Nathan Peterman is basically starting for Chicago.
Yeah, Vikings bounce back in a big way.
Yeah.
And they probably are locked in, and they probably get that 3 seed, end up getting that 3 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, that was too easy of a pick. Meanwhile, we got the New England Patriots taking on the Buffalo Bills. The Patriots last week got it done against the Miami Dolphins, the Tua-less Miami Dolphins.
With Skylar Thompson.
Yep, after Teddy Bridgewater got hurt again. And meanwhile, the Buffalo Bills, like we mentioned earlier, thank God for Hamlin. But, you know, this is the Bills, and they're definitely going to want to try to get that 2 seed or...
Probably the 2 seed.
Most likely the 2 seed.
Because of that unfortunate situation, which pretty much cost them, I think, any chance of getting the 1 seed.
Yeah. But I'm going to take Buffalo.
I'm going to take Buffalo in a game with a lot... There's going to be a lot of emotion on their side, and I think they're going to want to rally for Damar Hamlin and win one for him.
Yeah. All right, up next, we got the New York Jets going to Miami to take on the Miami Dolphins. The Jets kicked the crap out of the Dolphins earlier this season.
When Tua was out.
And Tua is out again. And
both these teams
Mike White is the quarterback this time because obviously Zach Wilson is trash. And I think it's getting close to time to put in the bust label on him after we basically pistol whipped the Jets last weekend. Geno Smith, basically both are tight and scoring touchdowns. Colby Parkinson and Tyler Mabry coming off the practice squad. And then Jason Myers with his field goals. We only held the Jets to 2 field goals, which I caught the second one, by the way, if you saw that video.
Yeah, although Mike White was the starter last week. And I don't know who's starting this week.
It's probably going to be Mike White
again. Both these teams are just falling apart.
Yeah, Jets are pretty much doing another repeat of 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, though, with the Dolphins diving to it...
I'm going to take the Jets to end the 5-game losing streak, finish 8-9, and hand at the Dolphins I can't believe it, a 6-game losing streak into the offseason because of what happened to Tua. That just derailed their season, him getting hurt a second time.
Exactly. Up next, we've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to Atlanta to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Tom Brady has still never lost to the Falcons. The Buccaneers last week got a win against the Carolina Panthers.
Comeback.
another Tom Brady comeback to clinch the NFC South, so the Bucs are in. They could potentially be resting starters.
I heard they're going to play starters.
Yeah.
They want that momentum.
Yeah, I don't blame them. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Falcons,
won the second to last toilet bowl of the year
against the Arizona Cardinals at home in Atlanta. Took care of their business against Atlanta.
What was it, 2019? 20-19?
Yeah, 1 point lead. Younghoe Koo kicked the game-winning kick. And was Desmond Ridder still the starter?
Yeah.
So Desmond Ridder got a win in his young career against the Arizona Cardinals. Pottsville curse came back to haunt the Cardinals even more. It's just shown no mercy on them. It's claimed Kyler Murray. It's claimed Zach Ertz.
I'll be surprised if Kingsbury lasts past this offseason.
I don't think he will.
I expect him to be let go.
And you know something though, if this is the last time Brady plays the Falcons, he stays undefeated. Give me the Bucs.
Yeah, give me the Bucs. They want to finish with a winning record. They want to finish with a winning record.
Yeah. Up next, we got the Carolina Panthers taking on the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome. We know what happened last time these two teams faced each other earlier. The Panthers ended up winning that one. Panthers got beat by the Buccaneers, so they have been eliminated from contention. The Saints beat the Eagles last year, but have long been since eliminated from contention.
The Saints were eliminated after Green Bay won last week.
Yeah, and obviously Buccaneers winning the South pretty much sealed it too. Give me the Panthers to complete the sweep of the Saints, though. I'm going to take the Panthers in this one.
I'm going to take the Saints. They're playing better.
Ooh, a split.
I don't think the Panthers have anything to play for anymore because they blew their shot at winning the NFC South last week, and I think the Saints want to finish strong.
Yeah,
at 8-9,
and this will be.
And and the Saints are at home.
Yeah, they are at home.
I think the Panthers kind of maybe just might kind of tank this game to get a
high draft pick.
Get a higher draft pick.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame what they did, but something about them with this team though. I just think.
So Carolina, I guess our last split of the year.
Yeah, I think Carolina though could.
I wonder what our record is in splits this year.
Especially with the way that they were that they did it to them last time around. Let's see if they have a good plan for Taysom Hill or Andy Dalton again. See what they decide to do on this one, because it's kind of a dumpster bowl too with how bad the NFC South is, which is embarrassing enough we got swept by. But
yep,
I'm gonna go Panthers. Dallas will go Saints. So last split on the year. Up next, we got the Houston Texans taking on the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis. The Texans last week got obliterated by the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Indianapolis Colts last week. The Colts
got destroyed at the Giants.
Yep, and the
Giants up a playoff spot for the Giants.
That's right. The Giants clinched a playoff berth for the first time since the incident boat picture with Odell Beckham Jr. and all those guys before they got beat by the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs.
Whew. The last toilet bowl of the year. This might be, this might definitely be the toilet bowl of the year.
Yeah,
I can't think of a game worse.
I'm gonna take Indianapolis.
I'm gonna take Indianapolis. The Texans are tanking.
There won't be a tie this time.
The Texans want that number one pick.
Yeah. All right, up next, we got the Arizona Cardinals going to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. The Cardinals lost to the Atlanta Falcons by 1 point, and the 49ers got taken to overtime in Vegas. But
a surprising result.
A surprising result, but they still ended up pulling it up. The 49ers could rest starters and still kick the crap out of the Cardinals. That's how bad the Cardinals are. They're so bad to the point where even the 49ers could rest their starters and still kick the crap out of them. I don't think they will, though, because they'll want momentum and want the 2 seed. Especially if Philadelphia gets a win over the Giants. So I think they're going to be fighting for a potential chance to get the 1 seed. So I'm taking the 49ers to complete the entire sweep of the NFC West.
Yeah, it's too easy of a pick. 49ers in a blowout.
All right, and up next we got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Washington Commanders. The Cowboys was obviously last week beat the crap out of the Titans on Thursday Night Football, and the Commanders got eliminated from playoff contention by the Cleveland Browns. Of all teams, the Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland actually did the Seahawks a favor last week.
Yeah, but it means nothing with some of the other stuff going on with the other teams, like with the Lions, Packers, and pretty much if we can get it done against the Rams. But other than that, I'm going to take the Cowboys to get the win.
Yeah, give me the Cowboys to sweep Washington. And I heard rumors that Ron Rivera's on the hot seat, so that's something to keep an eye on.
Yep, and up next we got our game. We got the Rams at the Seahawks. I will be going to this game. I'm taking Dallas there. Make sure you guys wish him a happy 30th birthday because the game takes place on his birthday. Lots of steak on here too, especially with the way the schedule makers did us dirty with not having the Packers-Lions game be played during the same time as we're playing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So we got the win against the Jets last week, and the Rams last week got obliterated by the Chargers in the second Battle of LA in the first SoFi Stadium Bowl. The first ever at SoFi, because last time the Chargers and Rams faced each other, they were still in the temporary stadium since making the move to LA. But yeah, lots of steak, you know. The Rams always play us tough, though. They played us tough last time around. We had to go down and we hit DK Metcalf on Jalen Ramsey for the game-winning touchdown back in SoFi Stadium to complete the SoFi sweep since we beat the Chargers down there earlier in the year. But lots of steak, and you know, Gino's going to want to be motivated. There's a potential of pending the last game of the week being the Sunday night game, a potential chance at maybe getting that 7th seed, pending on all that happens. But, you know, either way, even if we don't make it, regardless of it all, I mean, win or lose, I would still consider this year a success with, you know, the growth of our rookies, the young guys looking good, and showing potential that for a bright future, depending on how much we hit on this upcoming draft coming up in 2023. So I would still say that this year has been a pretty good year for us, regardless.
Oh yeah,
overexceeded expectations with
still,
the records.
I mean, still have a chance for the playoffs in week 17 or week 18. I did not see that coming at all. I thought they'd be out of it before Thanksgiving.
Oh man, all of us did. But you know, I mean, this game could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams brought it again and potentially got the win. But you know, it's like I'm still with us being at home. You know, the 12s are going to be crazy. You know, they're going to pack this house, especially if there's a chance to potentially get in as a 7th seed and get another shot at San Francisco in the wild card round, because the lowest seed plays the highest seed that's not on the first round bye, obviously, which the 1 seed gets the bye. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Seahawks to hopefully complete their first sweep of the Rams since 2013. I'm taking the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Seahawks because they're at home and they just better not take the Rams lightly.
Can't take them lightly at all, you know, especially since we're not having Jordan
The Rams
Brooks.
have had a miserable year, and they would love nothing more than to play spoiler to us.
Yeah, and then obviously us losing Jordan Brooks for the year is hard too, which hopefully he'll be back by hopefully next season. So that's unfortunate too. But anyway, we're gonna go with us at home. Like I said, me and Dallas are going to the game, so we will hit you up when we do the last player interactions for the year. Up next, we got the New York Giants going to Philly to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles lost to the Saints still, but they are getting Jalen Hurts back and there's no way in hell they're resting starters, not with the number 1 seed at risk.
Yeah, they haven't been able to lock it up the last 2 weeks.
And the Giants got a win over the Colts to clinch them a playoff berth, like we mentioned earlier. The first time making a playoff since the infamous boat trip with Odell Beckham Jr. when Odell was still a Giant.
They've had a surprisingly good year, and Brian Dable, what a turnaround! What a job he's done.
Yep, and I can't believe
turning that team around.
At least we could say we beat that Giants team earlier on in the season too.
Yep.
But I'm gonna take the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm gonna take the Eagles to complete the sweep and finally lock up that 1 seed.
Yep. And up next, we got the Los Angeles Chargers going to Denver to take on the Denver Broncos. The Chargers won the Battle of LA while the Broncos competed, but obviously fell short to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes is still undefeated against the Broncos. He pretty much is Denver's daddy. Patrick Mahomes is the Broncos' daddy.
Yeah.
I have to say that though too, but like you said, there could be some earlier implications with that Ravens-Bengals game.
That might decide what the Chargers end up doing.
Yeah, but if I were the Chargers, though, I would play the starters and compete to try to keep that high seed to get another shot at Jacksonville. So that way they could avoid playing Kansas City to avoid playing Buffalo or Cincinnati or any of those other tougher teams. Just try to compete for that seed to try to get another shot at Jacksonville.
Well, and to help the Seahawks out.
Yeah, with our draft pick, to at least get us the number 3 pick in the draft.
I don't want to be at like 5.
To potentially get freaking Will Anderson out of Alabama, that pass rusher out of Alabama, since Jalen Carter will most likely now be going to Chicago.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Los Angeles Chargers to complete the sweep of the Broncos. Therefore, for sure that the Broncos will be getting swept by their entire division. I'm taking the Chargers.
Yeah, give me the Chargers.
And last but not least, we got the Lions-Packers game, the NFL.
Sunday Night Football.
Yep, the NFL schedule makers did us dirty on that one to put that game as the last game to make us sweat it out to see whether or not we can make it. But the Green Bay Packers
Seahawks also did it to themselves.
Yeah, we really did do it to ourselves when we blew that game to Carolina and the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yep.
But the Detroit Lions obliterated the Chicago Bears, and the Packers obliterated the Minnesota Vikings. Packers would be a very scary team if they get into the playoffs. Just saying. I don't know if Minnesota. I don't think Minnesota wants another round with Green Bay, especially after what happened.
Well, and they probably won't get it because it looks like now Minnesota's going to be the 3 seed.
Yeah.
It looks like, and it's interesting because Aaron Rodgers, if they get the 7th seed, it looks like he's going to face his old playoff nemesis, the 49ers.
Yeah. And, unfortunately for us Seahawks fans, I think the Packers are going to get original lines for when they lost in Detroit earlier.
When they were struggling.
Yeah, while I was in Arizona for the Seahawks-Cardinal game where we completed the sweep of the Cardinals.
Yeah, wasn't that game like 15-9 in Detroit?
I think
very low scoring.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers threw 3 red zone interceptions. I remember
a terrible game by him.
Yeah, but still, I'm going to take the...
I'm going to take the Packers. There's too much on the line, and they're at home. And hell of a year by the Lions. And you know what? The Lions kind of did it to themselves. They lost that crazy shootout to us, and they laid that egg in Carolina in Week 16. Those 2 losses are biting them in the ass. Just like our 2 losses to Las Vegas and that laying that egg at home to Carolina, those 2 losses are biting us in the ass.
Heavily in the ass. But anyway, there you have it for our Week 18 picks. We got the Chiefs over the Raiders, the Jaguars lock of the week over the Titans, Steelers over Browns, Bengals over Ravens, Vikings over Bears, Bills over Patriots, Jets over Dolphins, Buccaneers over Falcons. We split on Panthers and Saints. I took the Panthers. Dallas took the Saints. Colts over Texans, Niners over Cardinals, Cowboys over Commanders, Seahawks over Rams, Eagles over Giants, Chargers over Broncos, and Packers over the Lions.
Please, Chargers, help us out.
Yeah, please.
Don't pretty much give Denver a free win and affect our draft position.
Yeah,
that's all we're asking.
That's all That's all we're asking. Kick the living shit out of them, please. All right, we're gonna sign out and hang out for a little bit, and we're gonna watch That's Our Boy. That's My Boy. Yeah, this movie is so hilarious, man. If y'all ever seen this movie before, that movie is so hilarious. Anyway, catch y'all later. If you ain't with it, you ain't infamous. And as always, go Seahawks. We will see you all by the tunnel on Sunday.